Welcome to WMA Recap. These videos are standalone, but I highly recommend you watch the full episode first and then watch the recap right after. That is the best way to enjoy this content. Now, this is a brand new format to showcase the animation progression for the blocks Jordan Idol. The way this new format works is quite simple. Animations will scroll from screen right to screen left. The animations are set on an infinite loop, and under Jordan's feet is a number that corresponds to the animation steps. The animations are stacked side by side to better see the progression from start to end in the same order that we animated them in the episode. And as they pass through the center box, which I call the focus box, I'll give you more insight on how it was animated. Let us begin with step number 1. Posing. So this was the very first animation I created in this series. I knew that I'd have to reuse it to create the other 11 idols, and for that reason I kept Jordan's idol very simple. If the performance was too complex, I'd have way too much work to reuse/retouch for the other animations. Confident, sports jock, athlete were some of the keywords that inspired me for his posing, and I used 2 poses with 1 duplicate pose to get me started. Next step is timing, and the way that I approach it is by imagining and visualizing what the breakdown of this idol will be like between each pose. So with this mental image of my performance, I select the COM controller keys only, and I space them out until I feel like I have the proper timing to create these breakdowns. Now, the timing doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be close enough to work. Alright, so using the layered method of animation, I'm going to begin with the COM/pelvis and start adjusting my F-curves. This is going to give me a more realistic sense of Jordan's weight and timing as he shifts between poses. Now, I like to do this pretty early on in my animations because I get to see a more accurate representation of my performance. Next up is the spine, and I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did on my COM/pelvis. I'm adjusting the F-curves to get a more realistic and accurate sense of the weight distribution on Jordan's upper body. Now, the spine is a bigger body part in comparison to the arms and head. Therefore, the spine should have a heavier feel to it. Next, let's talk about the head. Using the layered method, I began with the COM/pelvis because it is driving Jordan's entire body mass. That said, now that I have a good general timing on the body, I'm going to use Jordan's head as the driver, and I'm going to start adding in those breakdowns I had imagined earlier on. This will give Jordan more life/personality, making him feel like he's actually thinking during his performance. Step 6 coming in, and it's Jordan's arms. Now, I'm using the timing of his spine and the performance of his head to inspire me as I bring his arms to life. The layered method is very enjoyable in that regard, where you're almost always freestyling straight ahead right through the entire animation, but you're doing it in an organized way that makes the whole animation experience that much more fun. Next up, we got another arms pass, and I decided that I would keep the hands in a closed fist versus having them open. The main reason being that it would save me time. You probably guessed that. Now, this first Jordan Idol animation was intended to remain simple and basic, and having an open hand would mean having to animate the fingers. And since I had a super long road ahead of me with 11 more animations to create, having closed fists would definitely be okay by me. Diving into the first of 3 polish passes, I allow myself the freedom to really work whatever parts of the body grab my attention. Now, I don't really work in any specific order because at this stage of the animation, what I'm seeing on my screen is the summary of all the layers I've animated working together for the first time. A polishing pass on a full performance does require you to see things under a different lens. So as we move into the second polish pass, when I say it requires you to see things under a different lens, by that I mean I'm no longer cleaning up an F-curve on an individual body part. I'm adjusting and fine-tuning these F-curves in relationship with one another so that we feel a certain harmony in the final performance. So this is the final pass on Jordan's Idol. I tightened up the head performance by adding in additional micro movements. I improved Jordan's fists by giving them more life via delay and overlapping motion. I also added subtle secondary finger animation so that he clenches his fists every now and then. I removed the right leg step and simply replaced it with a foot slide, which felt more natural for his performance. Lots of other little tweaks, but that is how I animated Jordan's Idol. And on that, I hope you enjoyed this new format for WMA Recap. If you want to show your love and support for this channel, the best way to do it is to share this video on your social media or to drop a comment below to let me know if you like the content. Hitting the like and subscribe if you're not already. Believe it or not, a lot of you, according to my stats, are not subscribed. So All of the above helps this video and my channel rank better within the whole YouTube algorithm. You guys know how all that stuff works. So let's get this channel to 20K subs. I hope we can reach this milestone very, very soon. And finally, the blocks, body mechanic rigs made simple and fun are now available for 3ds Max, Maya, and Blender. The blocks are simple to use, easy to customize, and most importantly, super fun to animate. Visit gumroad.com/watchmeanimate to get the blocks complete 12 characters set now. Link is in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.